All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Let's see if we can. I'm just going to do some normal routine stuff. People just always have a million questions, trying to answer all of them. First things first, I always start my day with clean water. I already drank my hydrogen water. I just started the video now, though. You guys didn't get to see that part. But first thing we're going to do is clean our water. Why? Guys, I'm trying to tell you. Well, I am going to talk today a little bit about nature's water, the most healing holy water in the world, apparently, until we discover another one. But this one seems pretty legitimate. And so we're going to talk about that today, unless you guys have other questions. But let's just first start with cleaning this water. This is, why do we need to clean the water? This is both for physical health reasons, and of course, if you're trying to grow spiritually, it's good to have a clear mind, clean body. I'm actually putting reverse osmosis water in here so that, because reverse osmosis isn't good enough, and this will finish the cleaning process. Now, with that being said, the healing waters of Lourdes, or Lourdes, it just depends on how you want to pronounce it. These are waters that were discovered to be, and you know what, now that I'm thinking about it, let's make some hydrogen water too while we're at it. So, have you guys heard of this water, by the way? The Lourdes water? So, it's a place in France. Many people have drank water from there. And people have had apparently miraculous healings. You can search it, Google it, all that good stuff. And by the way, while I'm doing this, if you guys have any questions about, well, any questions at all, whether, honestly, about any subject you want. If I can answer it, I will. If I don't know the answer, well, I'll tell you the honest truth. I'll tell you that I don't know. So there we go. So Lord, this water was so unbelievable, but they literally didn't believe it. A lot of the people over there didn't believe it. They started tracking, I believe even the Vatican started tracking a lot of these people's medical issues, seeing if the water there from the spring of Lourdes. You guys know the whole story about how they found that like these kids had this like being of light that they think was like the Mother Mary, you know, Jesus's mother, said to dig there for a spring or something. And this water is super healing. Now, oops, let's make sure we're not going to overflow this guy. And they tested the water for a long time. They really couldn't understand, but they did track people. And they really did see that it was making significant changes to their health. And they just couldn't understand why. A lot of scientists studied it. A lot of people said, you know what? It's just H2O. We can't find anything. Now think about that. Because they probably took the water and they probably sent it to a lab or something and nobody could figure out what it was. In fact, everybody kept saying, you know what? It's just H2O. And you know, if you guys want a normal video, this is just a live video today, but if you want a normal video about Lourdes France, let me know and I can make something along those lines. Let's put this, it's hard to carry the camera here, but I'm trying to show you guys how I do this, even though I hope you guys have seen this already. I've done quite a few videos like this, but these are in the way. Let's put this in the carbon distiller here. Now, granted, I removed the carbon because I use reverse osmosis water. It's just easier for me. It's nice to have reverse osmosis as a backup. And I already drank my hydrogen water with Shilajit this morning. I wasn't recording that because I just kind of woke up a little bit ago and yeah, I don't hit record right away, guys. And then let's fire this up so you guys can. And again, clean water. Why? Guys, there's stuff in our water. You may not think it's affecting you. Oh, it's affecting you. It's like basic science. Okay. Let's fire that up. That's why I like things really pure, because that's what helped me get better. Okay, somebody has a question. What are your thoughts around being an empath? Okay. Do you do any energy cleansing type things? Can hydrogen help you be less sensitive? I see. Well, okay, that's going to be an interesting question. What is my what is my opinion, I guess, about being an empath? I mean, I I also, if you guys want to call it that word, an empath. Basically, I mean, is it a problem? I mean, it can be, but at the same time, you could always look at it in a more positive manner too. But it can also make things difficult. For me, it's actually helped. It's been both a detriment and a positive thing. Okay, I'm gonna make my breakfast, guys, while I'm answering your questions. Um, for me, my opinion is, well, I personally think that we are all connected. We are all one. And although you may not feel that a lot of times, some people, here, let me take out this compost. When you feel other people's pain, it can be very, very, difficult. However, feeling other people's pain can also help you grow. It can help you be more compassionate. It can help you be more understanding. Once you understand other people better and why they are the way they are, it makes you judge them less. And not judging people, believe it or not, it's a very powerful thing. Whether you think you judge or not, like I'm not going to judge you and tell you what what ultimately you're thinking or anything, but you might want to dig within yourself and observe your own thoughts and observe your own heart. I have seen the visions of what happens in the blood, actually, of what happens when you, for example, when you forgive, or just simply when you don't judge. But when you forgive, it's like really, really beautiful. It almost looks like stars. Or like a spring of water with light shining on it. It's very quite beautiful. And so my thoughts on being an empath is it's tough. I do think it's tough. Do I do any energy cleansing stuff? What I really like to do, and I'm not getting to do it as much as I'd like to right now, but in the future, I'm planning my future around all this. I want to live in a place where I can wash all the energy off regularly, which you do with a shower, but I'm looking to do it with in nature more. So that's why I like the natural springs. I was bathing in natural springs every single day when I was living in Japan, and I plan on, doing that again. Okay, before I begin, you guys can't really see this, can you? Should I move the camera? See if you guys want to see these ingredients. And I don't know if you really care to see this, maybe you don't, but this is my morning routine. And there's a reason for it, guys. If you guys want to know the reason for consuming the foods I'm about to consume, because it's extremely important. Well, if you're trying to get your health back. Some people just care about the health, and that's fine. That's totally great. Some people care more about the spiritual side of things. So you guys can kind of, I'm trying to make everybody happy, but sometimes that's a difficult thing to do. So as far as cleaning, I mean, yeah, I like smudging. If you've ever seen smudging, but I don't do it a lot. Mostly water. Water is what really clears the energy, in my opinion. And using hydrogen regularly, clean water, flowing it through you. There's a really interesting study actually in Japan. It's kind of shocking. I'll tell you, the Japanese do some really interesting research. It had to do with the amount of water that you consume. This is why I'm so adamant about clean water, because the garbage stuff in your water isn't doing you any favors. And wow, you guys hear that? That was strange. Anyway, you probably didn't hear it. So right now what I'm putting, this container is not what's in it. I'm putting purine powder in there. You can see it's really green. It's for nutrients. So I don't take any multivitamins. It's ironic, isn't it? I don't take multivitamins, but somehow multiple doctors have been very fascinated by the fact that I don't have nutritional deficiencies, because it's just so strange. Can you believe that, guys? That's how strange it is. It's so strange to not have a nutritional deficiency, but in my opinion, we shouldn't have anybody having nutritional deficiencies. But yeah, I think Let's see. Let's go with the next one. I don't know if I answered your questions, but can hydrogen help be less sensitive? I don't know if it's a hydrogen thing as much as I think it's a mental thing and a heart thing. But if your body's in a good place, which obviously hydrogen helps with, I think it might actually. So it's kind of an interesting question. We can go back to it if you want. Barbara asks, you have recommended to drink the hydrogen water prior to our green drink. In your opinion, does it have the same effect if one drinks the hydrogen water after drinking the green drink? Of course it does, Barbara. There's a reason I have that protocol. So before I keep going, you know, by the way, this is turmeric, organic, and that's it. It's the only ingredient in there. I've noticed a strange pattern. If I don't think you guys want to hear about it much, I was thinking about doing a video. If you can believe this, I started noticing them adding even more garbage to our food. So this is getting kind of weird. But anyway, we can get into that in a second if you want. Yeah, so the protocol, absolutely the first thing you want to consume in the morning, in my opinion, is the water on an empty stomach. You don't have to do that, but for my protocol, it's absolutely essential, including, you don't have to do this part, but I also use the minerals in the morning with the hydrogen. The hydrogen appears to actually work synergistically with the minerals. So that's a very powerful and positive thing. Let's see here. This is green matcha from Japan. The health benefits are just countless, endless practically. Organic, obviously, and definitely from Japan. I hate to say this because I have a lot of friends that are Chinese, but I don't consume, well, they don't like to consume this stuff from their own country either. So. And so anyway, I don't get, especially green tea. I've seen too many lab reports on those things. So let's see here. You want to hydrate first thing in the morning. A smoothie is nice and all, but you're not getting the hydrogen in. Now, granted, yeah, and then it takes a little bit of time for you to have that water go through you, and that's why I'm making this. I have time right now because I drink 1 liter of the cleanest water and the cleanest hydrogen with the proper levels. So that's actually, in my opinion, very important. Now I'm pointing the camera towards the smoothie just because I assume you guys want to see what goes into it. It's just an assumption. Maybe you don't. I got tons of videos on these smoothies. So let's see here. So back to Lourdes France, if you guys, so when they were testing the waters, and again, you're welcome to ask any questions while I'm doing this. It's totally fine. And honestly, guys, whatever subject you want, just make sure everybody doesn't lose their mind, because I'll tell you, people are losing their mind. But you know, I think it's part of what's happening today. As much as I don't like to say this, I think it's part of the process. So what's happening is supposed to happen. Even though it's very, very uncomfortable. It's like growth pains, or maybe even like having a baby. You know, it's so painful and difficult. And then once the baby comes out, everybody's happy. Baby, of course, as long as the baby's healthy. So back to Lourdes France, if you guys are actually interested. I'm not sure if you actually are. So the healing waters of Lourdes healed so many people. Again, no medical advice, no medical claims, and no medical claims, or no claims for or against products, by the way. Everything's my opinion. And the healing waters of Lourdes, when they were testing them, they literally couldn't figure it out. It was H2O. Somebody says, question, I can't do caffeine. Does the matcha have the same effect? Yeah, well, I don't feel it, but I know that it has caffeine. So if you can't do caffeine, just skip it. Anything that you're allergic to, guys, you know, that I'm using, you don't have to use. Let's see. Reliable Andrew says, hi, Greg. Does your highly nutritious blended drink provide you with enough sustained energy for the whole day without a need to say coffee or caffeine drinks? Yeah, I mean, to be quite honest with you guys, like, I have no need. Now, this is me though. Now, granted, this is actually a good question. So this is good to touch on. Me personally, I need zero caffeine. I don't need caffeine to get me going. I don't know. Well, it's funny to me because I hear that all the time. People are like, "Oh, I gotta have my coffee. Oh, I can't wake up without my coffee." And I find it kind of funny, but this is because I'm not in their body, right? Because caffeine, did you guys know that caffeine affects different people differently? Um, if I drink coffee, it gives me a calming effect. It makes me feel just a little peaceful. Um, it doesn't hype me up. Now, granted, if I drink, I would say probably like 4 cups, that's around the time where it gets me a little, I don't even know if the word is jittery, but yeah, it doesn't feel, maybe, I guess you could say jittery. But I don't need caffeine to get going. In my personal, and this is the difference though. The difference is that I used to be, it's kind of funny to me. It's almost like I've forgotten what I used to be like. I used to be very, very different. So, for example, the way that I would eat, the way that I did things, everything was so different. And one of those things, I've never really, quote unquote, needed, again, coffee to, it was never like a thing for me. I enjoy drinking coffee, but it's not like a thing that I need to wake up or have energy. As I've progressed on this journey, and I honestly think that it's going to be the same for all you guys, if you decide to embark on a journey like this, though I kind of don't know if everybody will, but anyway. When you embark on a journey like this, if you're patient enough, your body just starts changing. And what I mean by your body changing, like if I give you an example, at nighttime, I literally used to not be able to go to sleep unless I ate something. I had to eat every single time. That's why I was a little overweight back in the day. I mean, I just had to eat at night, or I couldn't sleep, quote unquote, peacefully, or just had a hard time getting to bed, or toss and turn for hours and hours. And eating at night, obviously, I had a lot of bad habits. Eating at night is not a good thing. I mean, you want your body to rest. Think of your organs as a bunch of like factories or people working. They need rest. And that's why fasting is such a good and powerful thing. And as you get accustomed to it, then at nighttime, no problem. I can no problem not eat at night. So there's going to be certain changes. And like now for me, the smoothie, does it give me my sustenance throughout the day? That was a wild ride. And it's going to be an interesting answer for you, because if I would have drank this smoothie back in the day, would have been enough for me to get through the day? No, it would have not worked for me. I was a big cereal muncher. I had to have my cereal. I literally ate cereal for obviously breakfast, and that's what I ate before I would go to bed. And throughout the day, I don't know, maybe I'd eat it one more time, maybe here and there. But for the most part, that's what I ate. I grew up on cereal. And so, yeah, so the simple answer is it would have not sustained me. Then, as I started cleansing the body of parasites, as I started cleansing the body of, well, many things, and started getting my body more accustomed to being without food sometimes. Have you ever noticed that some people lose their minds when they don't have food all the time? I know people like that. Like I personally know, which I'm not going to name, but I see people who lose their mind and they get literally like, well, obviously people like to call it hangry. They get angry when they're hungry. And it's kind of mind-boggling to me at this point, but I used to get, I didn't get angry, so I didn't, yeah, I never got angry about being hungry. But what I did get was, I would literally feel sick. I would literally get sick if I wasn't able. Oh, so here we go. So we have our nutritional powder. I guess I should be telling you this while I'm doing this. The purine powder is Superfoods. I use that instead of multivitamin to enhance the smoothie, because the smoothie needs it. It needs more nutrients. I put flax seeds in there. I put the turmeric in there. And I know people always want amounts and recipes, and I know some people operate that way, and I understand that. I don't, so that means I never measure. It's all based on the size of the pitcher, really. But as far as the powder, I just have these. It's funny that I don't know how I eyeballed it, because the amount that I use is literally exactly lasts me 1 month, which is when my next order comes in. I have one of these monthly orders. Yeah, I have one of these monthly orders where I get the Purium powder. For those of you who want, because people are always asking, like, where do I get it, or what one do you use? It's a website called ishoppurium.com. And then the one that I get is called Power Shake. They have a lot of other great products. I don't buy all their products, but they got some other good ones that I really like Apothecary. But anyway, it's called Power Shake. And if you want a discount, they give a really good discount with the code Uprising 144K. So, you know, and they are more expensive, by the way, than most other ones. And I've noticed the reason is they're really big on purity. I've noticed a lot of issues. I'm not a fan of a lot of supplements, obviously a lot of hydrogen products, a lot of water filters. I personally think that most of the products out there are just, they don't have those high standards. And this company is always testing their stuff. When they find impurities, they let you know about it. And anyway, that's why you're going to pay more for higher purity stuff when a company wants to do a good job. So, and sometimes some companies will still charge you a lot and still not give you the best stuff. So you got to be really cautious. That's why I share with you guys. I do a lot of homework to figure all that out. So anyway, and then we got super greens here. If you ever want to read about super greens and all the things they can do. So what exactly were we talking about a second ago? Now I have to remember. Somebody reminded me. Kind of lost track here. Okay. I think we were talking about, well, I know I was talking about Lourdes France, but no, somebody asked a question. Let's see, what was it? Was it the caffeine thing? I think we were talking about coffee. Let's see. Well, somebody remind me if they want me to keep talking about it. Matt says, does the hydrogen machine help with prostate issues like high PSA? Oh my goodness. In my opinion, of course. I mean, you got a problem when you have a high PSA. And the poor prostate, I got to tell you guys, oh my goodness, the poor, you know what? I mean, both men and women have to go through their things. If anybody's going through a prostate problem, I feel for you. Now I was talking about the whole eating cereal thing and how your body changes, and I probably should get back to that, but I'm going to talk about this prostate thing because, and these things can be embarrassing, but when I was younger, guys, I was already having issues. If you can even imagine that, I was having to get up at night to go to the bathroom. I was having issues. I don't know how much I should share, but I could hold my bladder and all that. It wasn't an issue, but you could have leaking, throughout the day, or if you were doing something. And what's shocking is I am so much older now, and with time, usually things don't get better. They usually get worse. It's a kind of a common thing as you're aging. And guys, I do not have those issues anymore. It is darn right unbelievable that I'm doing better now so many years later. I mean, that was over, geez, that was a long time ago. And I'm so glad, because sometimes I've literally forgotten. I've forgotten about those issues because of not having them anymore. And it's obviously quite wonderful to not have those issues. In my personal opinion, for something like the prostate, you're going to have to make a lot of changes, because once you have the problem, see, preventative is better, right? But once you have the problem, you got to get a little more strict. Now, there's tiers to it. So like there's levels to it. And what I mean, obviously, by the levels is that the first thing you always want to start with in my protocols, like for me, is clean water. So clean water is essential, because there might be things in your water that are affecting you in a negative way. That's the first thing. And by the way, so I put all those super greens in there. You should see what it does for nitric oxide production in the body. You should also look up the anti-parasitic effects of those greens. But anyway, and then after the clean water, the real magic is the hydrogen, in my opinion. The clean water, just remember that you're using water as a carrier for the gas. And so do I think hydrogen would help? Oh my goodness, yes. In fact, I hate to even say this. I'll tell you the truth, but I don't like to tell you this part because of the misunderstandings of it. I've seen people, like, you could probably not even use the cleanest water and put hydrogen in it and still get a lot of benefits. I mean, you're still going to get them, but what I'm trying to do is I want people to get like really, really good benefits. I sincerely, care about people wanting to feel better because, well, we're talking about the empath thing, because I have compassion because I know what it's like to suffer, and I just don't want people suffering. That's all. I really don't. I just want people to get better. This is why I'm doing this whole thing. So the hydrogen thing, yeah, I think it would help a lot, actually. I've seen it do some amazing things in regards to, yeah, the prostate. Let's just put it that way. I think if you stepped it up, you'll get faster results, better results. It depends how severe you are. But if you want to do something really simple, the most simple thing I've ever seen is clean water and hydrogen. Actually, the simplest thing is probably hydrogen. Again, I've seen it just, it's hard to believe sometimes, to be quite honest. Sometimes I kind of feel like I'm in a little bit of denial. I don't know why I'm in denial. I'm in denial. I don't know if I'm not in denial. I know hydrogen can work even without clean water. I've seen it. But I know, you know what it is? I know the data. I know scientifically what makes sense. And by the way, these are soaked walnuts. If you notice, I don't want to put almost anything dried, or avoid as much dry food as I can. You want water in your food. So yeah, so I'm the hydrogen is just that powerful. I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's really powerful stuff. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question. Hopefully it does. If it doesn't, let me know. Walnuts are obviously all sorts of benefits. I mean, if you guys want me to start going down the list, but also good fats. We're putting, vegetables. We're gonna put fruit, nuts. We put seeds. You know what? I might even put beans in today. You know what? Let's do it. Let's put beans in here today. Beans have just, the ones I'm gonna put have a ridiculously amount of high protein, almost as much as beef. However, they're alive. If you notice, I also like to use a lot of live food. And this particular live food is really good for breaking down this little spiky thing that entered people. And that's natto. Natto, guys, we're gonna put natto in here today. It has that wonderful enzyme called natto kinase. And by the way, when you look at ingredients and they're crappy, it's this stuff that they're talking about. I just use a raw material. I'm gonna throw these away. And you know what I just realized? This is my special natto. Look at the size of the bean. I'm not gonna use this one for this purpose. This one's for something else. I was saving these for something else. So give me a second. I'm gonna use a different natto. Let's find a different one. I don't wanna use that one. That one's the special one. Let's see, I gotta find which one it is now because I removed the packaging. I think these are all the big one. I'm sure they can't be all the big one. Come on. Gotta have a little bit one here. And if they are all, oh, here it is. Found it. See? I knew you were in here. This one, I know a lot of people don't like the flavor. Some people really do. Let's see if you guys can see the difference here. Natto has so many crazy health benefits. You know what I should talk about? I should talk about Japan. I was having a crazy conversation with somebody the other day. So this is the garbage ingredients. Go in the garbage. Look how small these ones are. See, they're smaller. Natto. Okay, let's see. Matt Moon says, that's good to know. Absolutely, brother. Okay, Pamela says, do you occasionally sterilize your bottle you keep your distilled water in? Yes, of course. I clean them. Got to keep things clean. So they stay clean for quite a long time. It's kind of surprising. You might find it ironic that water goes bad. Can you believe that? Water goes bad. All right, how do we activate the natto? It's not really a secret, but it is a secret that you should stir it 100 times. The health benefits of natto are just ridiculous. The Japanese have a whole belief. See, when everybody argues about diet and everybody argues about health, this is what I looked for. Okay, I'm going to share some stuff with you guys. Only the very few of you in here are going to hear this because nobody else is in it. The video was supposed to be about Lourdes France, which is fine. Basically, the Japanese First, did you guys know that they actually look at the IQ of countries? You can literally Google most intelligent countries in the world or highest IQ of a nation. They take an average of all the people's intelligence in the nation. Just recently, and they change, they kind of fluctuate, but the top four are always the same, although they fluctuate a tiny bit. But right now, Japan is the smartest country in the world. Now, don't you find that ironic that the smartest country in the world also has the longest life expectancy of any industrialized nation in the world? Okay, think about that for a second. So now they're the smartest, and oh, they happen to live the longest. Well, that kind of makes a lot of sense, right? And on top of all that, what do they value highly? I mean, if you really understood the things that the Japanese value, and one of the things they value a lot is water. It's one of the reasons that and the way that they grow their food and understand soils and soil depletion, things that in other countries they just, and how clean they are, which is another really, and they're low crime, and all these different things. And by the way, I don't know if you guys are seeing that this is activating. It's looking different. It's starting to foam up. So you're starting to get these little bacteria starting to breathe, get oxygenated, and we're going to put that in there today. And again, the research on natto, if you ever want to look at it, there's so much, guys. We're not talking like 5 studies or 10 studies. There's so many benefits. The other reason, one of the benefits, not just of natto, but in general, is I like to have a lot of enzymes. I hope you guys understand what enzymes can do for your body. That's another powerful reason for this smoothie. This smoothie is full of enzymes. Foods that are alive. Now we're putting blueberries. Super good for the vascular system. Anti-parasitic, anti-cancer. And look at this. This is crazy. Well, I won't pull them out of there. Most of the blueberries are kind of normal size. There's a few that came out there that are huge. And the Japanese, I started studying what they believe about diet. Why? Because I'll tell you one thing. You can't talk about diet these days, it seems, without people absolutely losing their mind. They literally, it's like talking about religion or politics, which, you know, I can talk about those subjects and not lose my mind, no problem. Like, I'm not going to get all weird about it. But a lot of people they can't have a simple conversation. I think, sadly, look, I mean, gosh, not to bring up Charlie Kirk, that poor guy. I mean, all he did was talk. He was trying to have conversations with people, and then they use violence. I mean, I probably shouldn't have brought that up. It's sad, you know. For me, I think open discussion is a good thing, personally, and yeah, I think you can learn from each other. There's a lot of good things with open discussion. This, guys, absolutely changes the flavor of pineapple, by the way, of the smoothies. My goodness. So I just put blueberries, the banana. I'm going to put a little bit of pineapple because, oh my goodness, guys. You know, I love pineapple. And pineapple has a very special enzyme too. And these enzymes help break things down. You absolutely need to understand this. You need a rich enzyme diet, in my opinion, because it helps keep the blood clean and you don't get all this like buildup of garbage. And if you do have buildup, like I've worked with people who have like heart blockages and stuff. And the thing is, you want the blood to flow, even for the whole prostate thing that the guy was asking about. Now, these are chia seeds. Lots of good minerals, lots of good omegas, calcium. I mean, and then notice that I like to soak them in water. I don't like to just put them in here dried. Anything dried, guys, is going to pull water out of you. I want to bring water into me, and lots of fiber, minerals, and nutrients. That's the whole kind of point for this smoothie here. Oh, you know what? I got something really special today. You know what? I think this is going to be crazy. I probably shouldn't do it, but I'm going to do it. Have you guys ever heard of koji? Talk about super rich enzymes. I made this, guys. Not only does it taste delicious and super sweet, this thing is so powerful. I just can't even begin to describe to you how powerful this stuff is. Koji. Oh, I love it. It's Japanese also. It can be like a dessert. And I'm just going to add it to this because this smoothie that I'm making right now, this thing is it's a powerhouse. I mean, full of nutrients, full of enzymes, full of fiber, full of minerals, full of nutrients, even good fats. Like, what else do you want? Well, a lot of people are going to be like, they're going to say silly things, right? Including like, oh, it's got oxalates. You know, people don't even know your body produces oxalates, by the way. And oxalates have important functions, including being anti-parasitic. And I think that people just hyper-focus on, they look at health very black and white. And by the way, guys, it doesn't work that way. Your health is not a black and white thing. In fact, the matrix of the human body is so complex that nobody knows exactly how it all works. No doctor knows, nobody, all right? That's why a lot of the testing that they do, even scientifically, like with hydrogen, they literally just see that it works. And then they figure out a few things about it, but the truth is they really don't know. And that goes, did you know that almost every pharmaceutical out there, you can research this, did you know that they really don't know the full, and by the way, now we're doing beets, they really don't know the full mechanism of how the medicine that they actually created, they're just going after one particular symptom or something, but they really don't know the full effect. There's so much guessing. Did you guys know that a lot of pharmaceuticals every single year, a very large number, I believe the number is like, don't quote me on this, but I'm probably accurate. It's 30 something percent pharmaceuticals are pulled off the, basically removed so that they don't get used anymore. I believe every year. They're always bringing in new ones and getting rid of ones. And because they mostly find out that they didn't work and they have all these side effects. And remember, I'm not making any claims or whatever. You guys read all that. That's my opinion, if I remember correctly. Okay, and you know beets have a bunch of health benefits. And then as far as, again, those oxalates, if you have enough, if you drink enough water and you're getting proper levels of calcium, you're going to be fine. I think that personally, they're going to find actually that they have actual health benefits. They're important to the body, and they recently have discovered some benefits actually from oxalates. Like I said, they appear to have a certain effect on parasites. In fact, like a positive effect as far as getting rid of them. So that's an interesting thing. And I noticed that a lot of these foods, if you want to Google them, are anti-parasitic that I'm putting in these smoothies. So that's another little interesting tidbit. This smoothie does it. One of my friends, I don't think he's Buddhist, but he was kind of making kind of fun. He's like, you should call this the everything smoothie, you know, like a Buddhist. Everything's in it. But anyway, here we go. So I'm going to soak the walnuts now for tomorrow. Because again, everything that you consume, you should try to bring more and more water into your system. Ultimately, we are creatures of water, guys. We are actually born of water. I'm sure you guys know that. When you're in your mommy's womb, you were in water. We are literally water creatures. And even the moisture, even what we're breathing, you know, we're breathing in moisture. So you're breathing in water in a way. I mean, we're breathing in about 21% oxygen, which, what do you think water is? It's H2O, so it's partially oxygen. Partially hydrogen. Okay, let's see here. Somebody says, Richard, yeah, Richard. Pamela says, do you have any specific recommendations for high blood pressure? Oh, that's easy. Pamela Fernandez says, oops, sorry. I don't know what that meant. But the simple answer is, yeah. Literally, if you were to just do I've seen this actually. I mean, I wish that, you know, I want people to be healthy, just so you guys understand. That's like something that's important to me. But I'll tell you the truth again. Sometimes I kind of hate doing it because people will take the easy path. That's why it kind of, whatever. But yeah, to fix blood pressure, I've seen people just clean water and hydrogen. I've seen just that alone do it many, many, many times. And if that doesn't do it, now one time, this is an interesting story. There was one time this woman who, it did help her blood pressure, but it didn't totally fix it, the hydrogen and clean water. And we did a consult, and it turned out that she was basically using the hydrogen incorrectly. She wasn't drinking enough water. She was letting it sit too long in a glass and not consuming it fast enough, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, and then if you take it up a notch, usually for blood pressure, usually it's self-induced. It's actually something you are doing to yourself. It can be usually physical, but once in a while, and it's rare, but I've seen it, once in a while, if you can believe this, guys, it's mental. So just a lot of stress in your life and then unhappiness and, you know, and all this kind of stuff, and you have to change your situation. or something like that, but mostly stress. But yeah, blood pressure is like, honestly, super easy. It's an easy one. You weren't born, I mean, unless, were you a little baby and you had high blood pressure? Were you a teenager and had high blood pressure? Though these days, oh my goodness, the kids, oh, don't get me started on these kids. I feel so bad for them. All the medical problems, the numbers, because I'm a statistics guy. I like to look at a lot of statistics and it's just off the charts. Okay, next one. Sam says, do you ever eat eggs? Do I ever? Have you ever? Yes. Simple answer is yes. I have eaten eggs before. Do I eat them sometimes? Yes. Not very often. So there's certain foods that I understand have certain nutrients. There's a lot of controversy about eggs. Everybody and their mother argues about them. But I think this of a lot of things, which is all in balance. Oh, I remember what I was talking about. We were talking about, somebody was asking me if this would sustain me for the day. Simple answer is yes, but only when your body gets in the right place. At the beginning, it didn't. And then as my body became cleaner and more efficient. I don't think people realize that your body can be efficient as far as like a car. It's like I think back in the day, I was probably getting, 10 miles per gallon or something with my body type of deal. Now I feel like I'm getting, geez, what kind of mileage was, I'm not kidding. I'm trying to think of this one. I must be getting at least 100 miles per gallon, as far as like my body and the way that it's functioning now versus the way it did. It's so ultra efficient. I mean, that's what the doctor who saw my blood work was like, what in the world are you doing? And then first she was just surprised about not having nutritional deficiencies. But once she asked me how I ate, she about lost her mind. She's like, it's impossible. And she thought I was lying to her. Why would I lie to you about what I'm eating? It's weird. You have to tell your doctor everything if you want to get accurate information. So anyway, becoming ultra efficient. Let's see here. What was that question? Oh, the eggs. Yeah, so I just don't recommend to eat them very often. So anything like dairy, eggs, meat, fish. These things are things that you shouldn't eat very often. Why? Because they build up in your body. And if you don't have a rich enzyme diet or even take enzymes quite regularly, these things are going to start building up. And then you're going to end up having the heart blockages. Your blood is not going to flow properly. Then you'll get that swollen prostate. You want blood flow, guys. I hope you understand that the life is in your blood. You want healthy vascular system. You don't want blockages in the pipes of your body. And then you want good things in the blood. So you want it to be hydrated with clean water, not heavy metals or chemicals. And you want minerals, nutrients, proper oxygenation, proper amounts of hydrogen. You want all these good things in your blood, okay? So the simple answer is yes, I do, but not very often. And if you're going to eat them, always eat vegetables first. Always load up on hydrogen water first, like all these type of things. And if that's not clear or you guys want more detail, let me know. Carol says, hi, Greg. I emailed you the other day. I was hoping that you could respond back. Well, to be honest, Carol, I don't remember which email it was. I get so many, and sometimes I do miss it. Sometimes I miss something. And you can email me again if you'd like. You can even ask the question here if it's something that's not personal for you or personal in general. So yeah, but if you want to call or whatever, yeah, I guess email again. But you can ask here, Carol, if you want. Matt Moon says, let's go to the moon. Do you do one-on-one consultations? If so, how do we get in touch with you? I do, Matt. You can, I only work with people who are serious, but if you're serious about improving your health, carrots, you can email me at uprising144k@gmail.com. And yeah, and then just include your phone number and I'll do my best. Of course, I do my best, but I get busy and sometimes I get overwhelmed. And my priority, just so you guys know, my priority, and it's not to offend anybody, my priority is always my health. So if I have to sometimes not respond to every single person because I need to actually go and do some exercise or a little walk or my stretching or maybe a meditation or me time or whatever, I do my best to reach out to everybody, but once in a while I miss a few things. Look at this carrot, purple carrot. Oh wow, look at the inside of it. yellow. So it's purple on the outside. That's funny. Yeah, I decided to buy these organic carrots today. Oh yeah, look at that. Isn't that pretty though? I'll tell you, nature's beautiful. Anyway, yeah, it's so funny. This stuff just grows out of dirt, huh? Wow. This reminds me of a little candy I used to eat back when I was a kid, you know, where the center was different. Yeah, so yeah, I could potentially, I can't guarantee that I'll do a consult because I'm very selective. For me, it's not about the money, you know, I'm very selective. I will only work with people who are very serious and committed. And why? Because I want people to get results. If people are just going to not really put in the effort, then I don't want to put in my effort, you know, because I have to put in my effort, and then, you know, and then people end up not getting results, and some people will be like, hey, I don't get results, you know, and they're upset, and then I go over what they're doing, and they're not really following the protocol. In fact, that happened recently. There was a guy, it was a woman, it's this guy's wife. Boy, maybe I shouldn't even, if I give too many details, I'll just say that she had a problem for a very long time. She got on my protocol, and her issue improved by, it was huge. It was like 95 to 98%. It was virtually gone. It was just tiny bit of lingering. And of course, what happens? They fall off the wagon. They start not, you know, taking care of themselves again. And they're not really doing what they're supposed to. And then I don't like, because like they would lie to me about following the protocol, because I know when people are following, I can tell. And they weren't telling me the actual foods that they were eating. And then I was like, you know what, forget it. Why don't, you know, somebody tells you like, oh yeah, I'm doing the protocol, when I know they're not. And I could tell you how I know, but it's no need to go there. And then, you know, complain about certain things when like, specifically in this case, it was about weight. And I know how to lose weight. Weight's easy. But she was very large, and it's impossible to follow my protocol and not lose weight. I knew she was doing something. She just didn't want to tell me. I did find out later, actually, though, that she was definitely doing something. And they literally had to have somebody come into their home. These people are, I don't want to share too much, you know, I'm trying to keep their privacy. But basically, she eventually started losing weight, but it was because somebody had to watch her like a hawk. You know, otherwise she wouldn't. And so I knew she was doing something. And so, you know, I don't want people to, you know, get mad at me when they're not committed. So the simple answer is I want people to do well. And if people are honest with me, like, look, I just can't help it. I love eating Twinkies at night. It's like, okay, well, let's find a way to litigate that. That's all. Just let me know the truth. And, you know, we can find ways, you know, to, yeah, mitigate that. Okay. Let's see here. Where are we at here? Greg, I emailed you. Okay, do you? Okay, Pamela says, earlier you were talking about the Lourdes France water. That's right. Carol says, I don't have to eat until dinner time after a smoothie. See, there you go, Carol. That's a lot like me. These smoothies are very filling. They do last you all day. Reliable Andrew says, you know what? While I'm reading these, I'm going to fill this up with some hydrogen water. So let's do that while we're answering some questions. And look, does it have to be hydrogen water? No, it doesn't have to be. Why do I do this? Well, to be quite honest with you guys, it's kind of, it shocked me too. Remember, I go off of data, so I don't make all this stuff up. Whenever I read new data, or I see new data basically, I try to do my best to implement it if it's not difficult. And you know, I have a hydrogen generator here. You know what I might want to do today? This is a really, if you can afford to do this regularly, for me, you know, sometimes I have to be cautious with certain choices, but if money's not an issue, but adding minerals to the smoothie is a powerhouse move. Concentrates minerals. I'm gonna put these in here. They work synergistically with the fiber. So I'm gonna put some of that in there. There was actually a study about that, though I was doing it way before the study. Sometimes I almost wonder, I noticed that I feel like, which is fine, people are copying a lot of these techniques or studying them. And so far, every time it's been done, I've noticed that it turned out that I was either right or I even learned something new, but the technique that I was using was not detrimental, which was good. I mean, I don't know how it would be detrimental to add minerals to your smoothie, but I mean, heck, I could probably even add a tiny bit of salt, but I'm not going to do that. I get enough salt in other ways, and I don't like to have too much of it. The data on salt, I know some people were thinking, oh, salt's so good for you. Well, yeah, I mean, it is to some extent, but it also has some negative things that the Japanese have uncovered. They have very clear evidence of it, like without a shadow of a doubt type of evidence. And so anyway, I'm letting the hydrogen will apparently soak into the food. That's what I saw in the study, and supercharge it. So, why not? Okay, we're losing you guys. Where are we at here? Let's see. Reliable Andrew says, Greg, do you ever use activated charcoal? Only in like an emergency situation. I don't use it a lot. I do have it though. It's a really good emergency medicine to always have around. You happen to poison yourself. That you need. Yeah, activated charcoal is an extremely good tool. Psyllium husk, absolutely not. Dude, psyllium husk, don't get me started on that. I'm not trying to say that it's a bad thing. Why? I don't need it. Why? Look at the amount of fiber I consume. And not only that, what the Japanese discovered is that every single fiber in every fruit, vegetable, nut, seed, bean, all these different things, mushrooms, they all work differently in the body. They have different functions. You don't just take one thing like psyllium husk. Can it help you with constipation? Sure. Do I have that issue? Absolutely not. If you drink enough clean hydrogen water and consume this stuff, I can like practically guarantee. I would probably, well, I've worked with people, guys, just so you know, I've worked with people with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, a lot of constipation issues, and a lot of other gut issues, Crohn's disease, celiac disease, all sorts of different stuff. I'm batting 1,000 right now. Every single person. I work with somebody who had such an extreme case that their doctor wanted to do surgery on this person. I was like, what? You don't need surgery. And this particular person, all they did was start using the clean hydrogen water and having these smoothies. No more constipation. That's it. Totally fixed them. Now, granted, if they stop doing it, they start having these issues with the IBS and all these things again. But it totally worked. And she was absolutely shocked. She had been suffering from this for so long in her life, years and years, ever since she was little, and just absolutely transformed her life. And she just couldn't believe it. All these people who come to me who've spent ridiculous amounts of money trying to get better, and then people want to do a surgery, like they wanted to cut part of her colon or something. Anyway, all right, guys, so that's a smoothie. Hopefully that would help you guys see. I have a lot of videos on how to make them. Okay, so they're soaking in there for a second. Let's see what else. So psyllium husk, no, I don't need it. Can you use it? It's fine. Would I use it all the time? Probably not. I rather, just eat properly and drink enough water. Enemas. I've done extensive cleansing, not just an enema, but kind of like colonic therapy, which people wanted me to finish that story. I actually forgot about that. But yes, I have done that. But after I did that and I started drinking proper amounts of water and doing everything the way that I'm doing them, I haven't really found a need to do them. But will I do it again someday? Probably. Yeah, but I don't do it regularly or anything. The stuff that you're asking seems like somebody who would be constipated. You're trying to take psyllium husk, you're trying to do enemas. So activated charcoal can and most likely will constipate you. It's going to pull things out of you. That's why if you poison yourself or if you have too much acid in your stomach or gas, you can help, neutralize that stuff. And then somebody says it's better for sort of bowel cleansing. Yeah, for bowel cleansing, I mean, I'll tell you one thing. You can do saltwater flushes if your body can do that, or something like this. I mean, the way that I eat regularly is I'm literally one of my #1 priorities. And this is a little TMI, guys, too much information, but you guys are asking, and I'm not trying to be graphic here, but my priority, yes, I get the water in me in the morning with my minerals. I'm doing this. But my priority is to get to the bathroom. I want my body to get this stuff out of me. I got the nutrients and I get this crap out of you, because otherwise it's not good for you. You're continually leaking this garbage into you and it's supposed to come out. I feel so much better when I have regular bowel movements. And now I'm when I was younger, I wasn't. Now I go 2-3 times a day. It's great. I love it. Okay. Carol says, it's too lengthy and the live chat only allows so many characters. What's too lengthy? I don't have to. I don't know. I'm too lengthy. I apologize. Matt Moon says, I am as serious as you are, if not more. All right, Matt, go ahead and email me, brother. Wes Gordon says, hydrogen water rocks. Keep sharing this super life-saving info, Greg. Well, thank you, Wes. That's very kind of you. Carol Orton says, how many drops of the minerals do you put in? I'm already adding them to my 2 liter of hydrogen water that I drink daily, 14 drops per liter. I mean, that's great. I would probably put anywhere between 20 to 40 drops because when it's with the fiber, your body will actually absorb it way better. So let's do this, guys. Let's blend this sucker up. And you know what? We'll see if it actually blends. You guys think it'll blend? You're probably going to be like, oh, yeah, no problem. But believe it or not, I've been having trouble with it blending sometimes. And it's just because, well, I won't explain why, but you guys can guess. Guess if you think it's actually going to blend. And then I'm going to grab a cup for my smoothie. And we're going to add even more nutrients. I'm going to add some of my more favorite ones. Of course. Let's grab these favorite ingredients. Oh, this one's gonna taste different today. Because I remember we just put the koji in it. All right, and the natto. I think this might be a very new smoothie today. This one's a powerhouse. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see if it works. It's working. Water level dropped a tiny bit. So let's do this. And sometimes I do that to release the pockets of air so that I can add more. Because if I don't add enough water, it's really thick. And I don't like it too thick. I mean, I can do it. It doesn't bother me that much, but if I add more water, I also get more smoothie out of it. I can fill up those jars and share some. All right, here we go. I got a really interesting tree here on the property. You guys want to guess? Let's see if anybody guesses it right. Does anybody know what fruit this is? This is amazing. It's going to be really fun. I just had some yesterday. It was really good. Well, there you go. This is clearly blended. So then what I like to do immediately after I blend these, I like to put them in the jars immediately if I can. Why would you say why? Well, because I want to keep it fresh and alive. This is alive. Life brings life, guys. Death, well, according to the writings of Jesus in the Essene Gospels, which wow, that is so good. Are you kidding me? I'm a little surprised. This one is going to be... Okay, hold on a second. I almost can't believe it. What you guys just witnessed today, by the way, as crazy as this sounds, I've never made a smoothie like this one before. This is the first time of mixing those specific ingredients. This is bonkers. This is Sparta. Does anybody know what this is? Anybody? Anybody? Not crazy? Okay, now let's get the real taste. Now, what I really like to do, I'm going to show you guys this too. This is another little secret. Now, you don't have to do it this way. Geez, it's so good. Sweet today. And normally, I don't know. After I've done what I've done to my body, I don't like things to be overly sweet. You know, the Japanese don't like things overly sweet. In America, my God, everything's just crazy overly sugared. They do it on purpose, though. They're trying to hurt us. Okay, vitamin D3 in its ionic form with K2. I like to have it with my food. I don't know if you're noticing the pattern yet about how I do things. I like things with the food because the body responds to it. It understands food. Why? Because for thousands of years, our ancestors have eaten food for their nutrients. Boron, super good for your hormones. In fact, that guy who has a prostate problem, yeah, I would personally do that, but you don't have to. Okay, so there we go. Now, I mean, I'll tell you this one right here. This is a powerhouse smoothie today, guys. I can't imagine the amount of protein in this thing. Everybody's always like, you got enough protein? Let me tell you, did you know that a high protein diet has been shown to actually not be very good for you? It's not in research because it strains your body. You can't absorb all that protein. It strains your kidneys, strains your liver. What you need to focus on is not just protein. You need to focus on nutrients. Look at all these different types of nutrients. This is what you need to focus on. You know, you want your vitamin Ds, your calciums, your irons, your potassiums, your vitamin C, your vitamin E, your niacin, your B12, your B6, your zinc, your magnesium. You know, you don't just say protein. You know, your body's pretty much made of proteins. It's kind of a very, and there's some that are, you know, really amazing, and you know, they have different functions, and it's just kind of silly. It's like saying, I don't know. It's kind of like saying you need water. It's like, well, okay. Do I drink the water out of the toilet? Do I drink it right out of the tap? Like, you're being a little vague here. How about clean water? So anybody guess what this is yet? I'm going to sit down now and I'll answer the rest of your guys' questions, and then we'll be done for the day. And I'm going to drink my breakfast. Actually, I'm going to show you something else that I don't normally take it. I'm only taking it because it was gifted to me. But I'll show you something else that I'm taking. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Leotril, but I'll show you guys that in a second. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna be right there in a second. Still a little groggy. Like I said, I kind of woke up. I think I went to bed a little later than I should have yesterday. Okay, let's taste this thing. Let's do the taste test, the real one. Wow. You know, here's another thing for you. I like to put the hemp hearts on the surface so it activates my chewing, because that's, your body knows that it's going to need to digest something. Okay. Let's see if we can answer some questions here. You know what I should do? I should look up the health benefits of this particular fruit. Let's see if anybody guessed it right. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Where are we at? Oh, Carol says, is there a study on industrialized, commercialized salt and not Celtic sea salt? Well, see, in my opinion, Carol, I do a lot of things. So I have to be efficient with my time, especially when I'm trying to help everybody. And do I really, really need to, as far as the salt's concerned, basically I want salt that's rich in minerals. Typically Celtic sea salt or Himalayan salt. I don't like processed salt. I don't know if that really answers your question. Carol says, when I sent you the email, you said I could discuss it in the chat. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. And I was responding that it was too lengthy. Oh, to put in the chat. Well, just email me your phone number and I'll give you a call and we can talk about it. Okay, what's the fruit again? Somebody guessed mangoes. They're not mangoes. They smell interesting. I should show you what's inside of them. In fact, those ones are not quite ready. I could show you the ones that are more ready. I have all sorts of fruit here. They have, oh yeah, we smell different because these aren't quite ripe. This is interesting. I'll give you a hint. Oh, somebody got it. Somebody guessed it. Oh yes, the pawpaw. Pawpaw. Funny name, right? Pawpaw. I like funny words. I can tell you all sorts of funny words. Like there's a lot of Japanese funny words too. Okay. It's a pow pow. Let's see. I didn't even look up the health benefits of pow pow. I wonder if they're anti-parasitic. Let's see. Let's see. Health benefits of pow pow. I don't even know how to spell it. The pow pow, also known as papaya. What? That's not papaya. Oh, it smells like a flower. It's a tropical fruit with numerous health benefits. There's a tree back here growing this stuff. This is not tropical climate. High in fiber, promoting regular bowel movements. We were just talking about that. It contains a special enzyme, guys, called the papain that actually aids in digestion. I'm telling you, all enzymes are good for your digestion, basically. Reduces bloating, super high in antioxidants, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, protects your cells from oxidative damage, contains carotenoids, including lycopene, which may reduce the risk of certain types of cancer. Woohoo! Immune system. Well, interesting. I should have put the seeds. I just had one yesterday, and I threw them away. I'm going to save the seeds now. It literally says that the seeds have certain antimicrobial properties. I've noticed that a lot about seeds. But it also contains potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure. See, here's another one. I'm always big on overcoming all nutritional deficiencies because that may be what's causing the problem, like the lady who had, or the guy, whoever it was, that had the blood pressure issue. Low in sodium, okay. Blood sugar control. This actually helps regulate blood sugar control. That's why when people kind of complain about fruit having sugar, within the fruit helps the way nature created it, guys. Helps regulate blood glucose. Let's see. It actually supports bone health. Wow. Oh, it's got vitamin K, just like the natto. Natto has a lot of vitamin K. Improves your skin, reduces inflammation, and whoa, the leaves of, wow, I'm gonna have to save the leaves from that tree. The leaves have certain properties too. What does it say here? They use in traditional medicine to treat many conditions, including fever and vomiting. Yeah, don't use Tylenol anymore. I'm not gonna make any medical claims about that. I'm sure you guys heard about it. This is unbelievable today. I don't taste the natto at all, which I think is what a lot of people want to try to. Well, you know what? Let's see if Pow Pow has. I mean, obviously they have a lot of health benefits. Even the WebMD. It helps with systemic inflammation, even anti-aging. On and on it goes. Okay, great. But let's see if it has any. Let's see if it has. I'm gonna Google it and see if it. Before I even tell you guys, I want to make sure because I have a feeling. Let's see. I have a feeling about this one, and usually my gut feelings, I've noticed that I'm accurate about 86 to 90% of the time. I'm pretty accurate. If I was like wrong all the time, I would tell you. Excuse me. Like I'll tell you one thing. When I have dreams, my dreams never come true. Like if I dream of, that I bought a red Corvette, I'm like, wow, am I going to get a red Corvette? And it never happens. So I'm very inaccurate in my dreams. So here's an interesting one. Ooh, the Pow Pow fruit. Oh, hold on a second. Okay. There's certain Pow Pow extracts that can be used as an anti-cancer, anti-malaria, antiviral, antimicrobial, anti-parasitic. That's what I was looking for. And even, wow, okay, this is wild. It even has, I've never even heard of this before. I knew hydrogen pretty much, in my opinion, does this. It has an effect on pesticides. So certain pesticidal activities. So it has a certain effect on that as far as basically helping against the negative effects of pesticides. That's pretty interesting. Mm. All right, guys. Pow pow. Pow. Pow pow. Oh, it smells so good. Anyway, okay, enough of that. All right, let's see here. Any other questions? Somebody said mangoes. Mangoes. Okay. Let's see. Deb says, hi, Greg. Will hydrogen water help build your white blood cells? My white blood cells are up and down, but my doctor says I'm okay. Well, I think, Deb, I do think hydrogen water will have a very powerful effect on that. I also think that clean water, because what you need to understand about water is that there's things in there that could potentially be affecting your whole white blood cells, and then overcoming nutritional deficiencies, hence this ridiculously crazy smoothie. So that if it's something that has to do with a deficiency, but hydrogen also helps. I mean, that it's always, look, let's be really honest here, guys. This is what frustrated me when I worked in the medical field. You go to the doctor, do they really know what's happening? No offense to them, of course not. They don't know, because they spend 5 minutes with you. You think they're going to figure out all your problems or know why your white blood cells are elevated or low, and maybe they'll find an infection or something of this nature. That's fine. But they don't really know. They don't even like to test for nutritional deficiencies. I don't get that. That should be one of the first things they should be testing for, in my opinion. No medical claims or advice here. So anyway, it could be a lot of things. But do I think hydrogen would help? Yeah, it's so foundational. It's like saying, would breathing help? You know, it's when, especially as you get older, your body. The Japanese discovered that you're making less hydrogen as you age. By the way, thanks for all the thumbs up. I just noticed. All right, let's keep moving forward. I would do something about it personally. Clearly, something's going on in the body. Sean Lynch says, I'm hoping hydrogen water will bring my wife's hemoglobin levels down. It could. Again, I feel like it's the same thing. It's always clean water, nutritional deficiencies, and hydrogen, just that. And when I say nutritional deficiencies, vitamin D is a big one, hence the reason it's like the only thing. Did you notice it's the only thing that I add other than, I mean, boron's a mineral. I got my nutritional powder, but vitamin D, because you're just not going to get enough of it from your food. Okay. Martin says, pow, pow. You know, see a difference between one that's ripe and one that isn't? It kind of smells, but these smell so good. I should cut one open and have one here in a second. They're really delicious, if you guys have ever not had one. Oh yeah, somebody said I take Leotril and put 1 teaspoon of apricot seed powder in my smoothie. Oh, there you go. You just reminded me. I'm supposed to take this Leotril. Yeah, someone gave it to me, so I'm just going to take it. I know what it is. I know that it's quote-unquote anti-cancerous. So I'll take some. I mean, they basically just come from apricot seeds. Now, that's the funny thing about seeds. You could have somebody tell you seeds are toxic, and can they be? Yeah, there's a lot of things that can be. But it's weird. That's what I mean about having wisdom. Sometimes there's things that look like they may be bad for you that might be good for you, and something that looks like it might be good for you that may be bad for you. It's kind of weird. That's the way it works. Okay. And by the way, in the very near future, I don't want to make too many predictions, but it's coming. Like, I can tell you it's coming. They're going to actually discover with AI, or because of AI, they're going to discover the full matrix of the human body, which is going to be bonkers, by the way. Absolutely bonkers. Because humans have not been able to do that. We discover it's in bits and pieces, but okay. Joaquim Berthelsen says, for years, my wife has had to sleep at least 2 hours every day during the day. Last month, we started drinking hydrogen. Last month, we started drinking clean water, clean hydrogen, and making smoothies. I can't believe the results. And that's what I'm talking about, guys. This happens all the time. And that's what makes me happy. Because someday when I cross over and I meet my creator, I'll be able to say, I tried to do what, for example, Jesus said, love one another. This is my way of trying to love you guys. I don't like when people suffer. His wife was clearly suffering. And life is hard enough. Life is hard enough than to have to deal with being so tired or whatever, where you have to like lay down in the middle of the day or whatever. Thank you for sharing that so much. I'm so happy that you are getting your results. I hope people can understand too. Probably nobody stuck around this long, so I don't know if people are going to see this. I should probably do a video about it. And I've seen it before. I knew it would work. But I'm very happy for you. I'm like so overly joyed that you're getting your results. So thank you for sharing that, Joaquin. So happy for you, brother. So happy. And you know what? Happy wife, happy life. I've heard of that before. But I think both men and women should be happy. That's how you're going to make a better relationship. When your partner's suffering, you're suffering. So how great. Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you. You like made my day. So happy for you. Okay, Reliable Andrew. Let me move on. Otherwise, I'll talk about that for an hour. You usually take some fulvic acid in your smoothie? Yes, it says. No. I don't do it regularly. The reason I was taking it was because it was part of a protocol that I did with stem cells. I don't take stuff. I don't really take supplements, but it's what she wanted me to do. And I was going to follow her. You know, she's, yeah. In fact, somebody just gifted me this too. So I'm going to take it. I'm not going to let this stuff go to waste. Purium, again, the one that I like. Super aminos. I mean, otherwise they're just going to sit here and go bad. And Purium is one of the companies I trust more as far as, well, let's look at some ingredients, because there's some that I really don't trust. And I won't mention those because they hate me, and they do everything they can to try to shut me up, including throwing one of the biggest law firms at me. Let me get more smoothie. It's turned out quite good today, guys. I wish I could share with you all. You know, because for me, if it was up to me, as crazy as this sounds, I would like to have like a big, like a retreat center, wake up, make smoothies for everybody, or teach people how to make them so everybody can help each other. Everybody drinking their clean hydrogen water. They have that farming going on. You know, like a real positive environment. But you know what? That's just, not only is it not going to happen, we don't live in that kind of world, and it's just not going to fly. And that's okay, because you know the world needs to change, not just one person or one community. I'm going to do it though, on my own. I'm going to do my own thing. But I guess what I'm trying to say is I wish I could share this with you. And the best way that I can share with you guys is like that guy just commented. I can show you how to drink your great clean hydrogen water. I can show you how to make some smoothies and you know, get your nutrients or whatever. Hopefully you guys can hear me. In fact, why doesn't somebody comment? Make sure to let me know you can hear me. And I would love that for you guys. And we all live in different places. We all have different lives. So hopefully this information is finding you, as not many people find me. Maybe I should start talking about other things too, other than hydrogen. It's just, I feel like it's needed. Hydrogen is so corrupt in my opinion. It's become terrible, but it's not just hydrogen, guys. It's corruption's all over the place. It's just darn right ridiculous. So yeah, okay, back to that fulvic acid thing. No, it was just a supplement that was given to me. And I've been using it. I'll tell you one thing, the stem cells with the hydrogen, pow. It was really powerful. I'm going to talk about pow for way too long here. Joaquin, how long did it take to get the results? Hey, that's a good question. Pamela Fernandez. All right. Okay, guys, well, let's see if you'll answer that question. Beyond that, I'll finish the little thing about Lourdes France. So basically, they studied the water. The Japanese are the ones who figured it out, of course, because it was kind of tricky. And they found high levels of hydrogen. it seems that hydrogen is a true magic. I already know that obviously by now. Clearly why I'm so passionate about it, but I'm also passionate about water. I'm actually really passionate about food too. Pow. Okay, enough. All right. Sean Lynch says, what are your thoughts on chloride dioxide? I don't think it's chloride dioxide. I think you're talking about chlorine dioxide, aren't you? Let me see. Let's make sure we get it right here. We don't want to make any mistakes. Oh, I forgot. I was reading about all the different things about pow pow. I'll tell you, anti-parasitic, guys. I love things that are anti-parasitic. Okay, let's do this again. Chloride. This is gonna be interesting. Let's type in chloride. Let's go with what you said. Okay, we're going with what you said. Chloride dioxide. Let's see. I'm pretty sure that's chlorine dioxide. Yeah, see, I don't think it was chloride dioxide. Unless I'm wrong, but nothing's popping up under chloride dioxide. Okay. Let's see here. Now, my opinion on it, if it's the one that I'm thinking of, which some people call MMS, I think it's good. In fact, chlorine dioxide has 2.6 times the oxidizing power. It's very oxidizing. It's one of the reasons that I'm really big on, yeah, chlorine. Yes, that's right, Sean. Okay, got it. Yes, I'm a fan. However, within reason and within reason. Most things are so oxidizing. That's why hydrogen water is extremely important. And hydrogen, not hydrogen water, but hydrogen in general. But hydrogen water is like the best way to do it. Inhalation second best. I know a lot of people are giving a lot of bad information about this. The thing is hydrogen is a selective antioxidant. So even if you have a lot of oxidant stuff, you can let it do what it needs to do while not allowing it to do certain things that maybe you don't want it to do. Simple answer is I am a fan of it. Yes, absolutely. I'm not against it. I'm not upset about it. There's a lot of negative news about it though, people using it. And I'm a little bit suspicious about such things. I'm suspicious about such things. Okay. Joaquin says, Pamela, it took 4 to 5 weeks. 1 or 2 months. Awesome. And it's only going to get better, Joaquin. We have followed Greg's protocol. It was hard the first 2 weeks, really. Like, yeah. And you know what? That's to be expected. It's always hard to change. I'm glad about your honesty there too. It was hard for the first 2 weeks, but the results have been worth it. She doesn't need to sleep during the day. Look at that, guys. I've worked with people. I worked with a woman. There's so many stories because I've been doing this for years. There was a woman. This poor woman was actually worse than this particular. Pamela says, thank you. Trying to help my husband. I have all I need. Yay. This particular woman had really bad, what's the name of it again? Chronic fatigue syndrome, CFS or whatever. It was so bad she had spent almost $200,000 in a period of over this particular, I'm trying to remember this particular woman. I think it was 15 years, something like that. She spent a lot of money and got almost no results, just a little bit with all the things out there. Now, sadly, nobody's gonna hear this part, but the few of you who are in here, she went out and she was spending money on hydrogen tablets, different supplements, different doctors, red light therapies, everything you can think of, all the stuff that everybody's talking about. And she said she got about 10% improvement. Now this poor woman, it was even worse. She would get up, I think she could function for about, how long was it? I'm trying to remember. She could function for about, I think it was about 2 to 3 hours. And then she would just crash. She just had no energy. It wiped her out, and it was kind of ruining her life, which I understand. I've had my life ruined by medical issues, hence the reason I share all this information with you guys for free. Just trying to help people. And, oh, I got this thing here in the way. Anyway, she did my protocol, and she said that she had, and hers was, again, extremely severe. It took about 6 months, and she had a little over 90 to 93% improvement, meaning it was almost 100%. She said, I can live like this, meaning she was doing so much better. It was almost basically completely gone. And she was so impressed, and she just couldn't believe that all these doctors and all these specialists and everybody, health gurus and health psychics and naturopathic doctors and everybody promising you the world. I've had some pretty bad experiences with that myself, and I'm not going to start naming names because something recently happened, and I'm pretty sure this doctor won't watch this video. At least I hope he won't, because I was a little disappointed. Actually, I was quite disappointed because I've been doing some research about trying to find something new for you guys for specific medical conditions that I think are affecting a lot of people, and it has to do with the misalignment of the spine. So, you go to a chiropractor or whatever. A lot of times, yeah. And Joaquin's saying you can do it, and if it's important enough to you, you will. That's just my opinion. Now, granted, sometimes you just, like for me, like it was so brutal because when you can't walk, you can't get up and start grocery shopping and picking pow-pows, and making smoothies. So it was really hard at first. But anyway, the simple thing I can say is it just surprises me. People are married to their ideas too much. This is what I meant about discussion. I think the discussion's good. At some point, I've been thinking about doing like different podcasts, like on my channel, like interviewing some people. Problem is, I don't know how. I wish it could just be like this, just hit live and you talk. But I don't know how to, with the computers or recording the conversation, and I don't know how to edit. I'm totally computer illiterate. It's ridiculous. Okay, anyway, moving on from that. Okay, let's see here. Pamela says, Greg, what are some examples of what you eat during the day besides a smoothie, or is that all you have? That's all I have. I just live off smoothies and pow-pows. No, I'm kidding. No, I have really, I've released many videos, by the way. I don't know if you've seen them. Many videos of what I eat for dinner. I could record more of them. To be honest, you know what happens when this is why I stopped doing it. When I show what I eat for dinner, I get either the negative comments, or all these people start leaving the channel. And it saddens me because I know that the information, even if you don't agree with the diet that I eat, the clean water and hydrogen is going to help anyone. I don't care what diet you have, it's going to help anybody. And so, but people are so married to their ideas about politics, religion, and food. Apparently now food's entered this whole thing. And Pamela says, I've only seen smoothie videos. Oh no, I got a ton. You go scroll through my channel, look at some of my short videos. I've shown many different things that I eat for dinner. Many. And I would share more. I could literally share every single day what I eat for dinner. But like I said, a lot of people seem to get upset about it. It's really weird. I'm very, very confused about that, because if somebody wants to eat what they want to eat, it's fine. I'm not going to get mad if somebody shows me a pizza and a Twinkie every day. I'm like, it's your body. You're the one who's either going to suffer or feel great, like that person, I think it was Joaquin. Now they're feeling better. So that's super awesome. And I can explain to you why, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I can explain all sorts of stuff, including things about hydrogen that nobody knows, about what it's doing in the body. I know there's so-called experts out there thinking they know, but there's a lot that they don't know. And they've admitted that. Yeah. A lot of people have been wrong about hydrogen for a long time. But they never want to admit that. Oh, well. Okay, whatever. Moving on. But yeah, I do live off the smoothies for breakfast and lunch sometimes. Sometimes I even have them for a little for dessert because they're really good. Especially when your taste buds get used to it. Okay, Joaquin, they were saying you can do it. And once you get in the routine, oh man, it's hard to stop doing it because of how good you feel. So, and it's a routine, you get used to it. What happened to your other interview with Jeff Mara? I did it. Exposing False Prophets says, what happened to your other interview with Jeff Mara? I did the second interview. Here's what was really frustrating. Now, nobody's going to understand this except for you, Mr. Exposing False Prophets. I did the first interview. I give a lot of information regardless of how many people are upset about it. They wanted me to give everything. So I did the second interview, and you're not going to believe this. And, you know, I like Jeff. No, I'm not trying to offend Jeff by any means. He and everybody else kept saying, bring us the truth, tell us everything, stop holding back. So I did, and you know what Jeff did? Stop recording. And then he goes, dude, you can't say that. I was like, what? You're the one who asked for this. He goes, you can't give that information. And I was like, okay, well, you just brought me on your show to expose this, and now you're telling me that you don't want to expose it. So I never really did get to say what I can tell you right now. I can tell you what it is. I don't know why Jeff was so weird about it. I don't know why he was so weird about it. But I can tell you right now what I was going to say on his show. But nobody knows what his show's about or anything. Pamela says, I have only seen smoothie videos. So basically this has to do with the whole Antichrist. But I don't know if I really want to do that on this channel right now with the audience we have, unless people start commenting, I want to know. But if not, we don't have to talk about it. But I am going to let you go soon because I'm almost done. This was so good today. I'm actually going to grab a little bit more and answer maybe a few more questions. And then I'm going to say goodbye because I need to get on with my day. I got a lot of stuff I got to do. As usual, as per usual. Oh, you know what? Here's another. People keep giving me these. You know, it's funny. People gift me these like different supplements. And I really don't like taking a lot of this stuff. But I'm like, if I don't use them, they're going to go bad, and I'm open-minded, and I'll try it. But I've never really had too many supplements impress me. Tell us the whole truth. Don't tease us, says Chief Sinner. Chief Sinner. I'm not trying to tease you. I just don't want to talk about something that people aren't interested in. Because then, you know, that's boring. You alienate people. But like I said, if enough people comment and say, hey, we want to know, though I don't know, not everybody necessarily wants to know about the Antichrist. But okay, I'll tell you guys a few things. First of all, let me know, comment here when I say this. Are you guys aware that they're growing humans in artificial amniotic fluid in special pods at this time? And by the way, I'm not making that up. This is stuff we actually know that this is happening. And I'm not trying to sound like a conspiracy theorist because I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a data guy. But are you guys aware of this? Is anybody aware of this? Okay. Martine says, I am. And then, let's see what you guys are saying. Yeah, okay. Pamela says, I'm open to hearing. Okay. Joaquin says, I think we have discussed, should we drink hydrogen water before we inhale at night, before we go to bed? What do you recommend? I would have just a little bit of hydrogen water. You don't have to have a ton because then you're going to want to pee at night and stuff. So a little bit just to activate it. So that hydrogen water helps activate the inhalation. Really good question, Joaquin. Good one, my brother. By the way, I consider everybody my brother and my sister. Okay, Chief Sinner says, tell us all the truth. Martine Knocker says no. I don't know. Oops, I must have missed it. No to what? And then Chief Sinner says, I have heard this. Oh, they didn't know. Oh, that's right, about the baby pods. Sean says, no, but I believe it. And Pamela says, not surprised. So yeah, so this is happening. They started doing this research back in the 90s. It was China that has been doing it, and they have successfully. They're making artificial amniotic fluid, if you can believe that. I'm like, that's impressive, guys. Artificial amniotic fluid. I've always been kind of curious about this. Why would I be curious about this? Because you can grow a whole human body in this liquid. I mean, if you can make a brand new baby, what can you do for health, right? That's why I've been interested. I've been studying amniotic fluid for a very long time. So anyway, they're growing these, and so they're genetically modifying these babies. They can literally grow a baby to full term in a matter of, I believe it's like 2 or 3 months. It's really fast. It might be as little as 2 months. Literally grow an entire baby. And these babies are genetically modified to get, they're going to be like super athletes. They're going to be like NFL players. They're going to be big, strong, fast, and smart. You know what we may be having could be a huge human revolution. We're going to introduce potentially a new type of human race. And this new humans will probably mix with the existing humans at some point, and boom, you got new humans. Pow! I'm gonna have to open one of these if you guys haven't seen these. These are so delicious. I can't believe I have a whole tree out there. And so they're growing these humans. And by the way, these humans are also gonna be able to speak at least 10 languages. They're gonna be, again, extremely smart. And they're doing all this stuff. Now, don't think for a second that the Antichrist, one thing that you need to know about the Antichrist is that he's gonna be perfect. When I say perfect, I don't know if I would say perfect in a good way, but he'll be super smart, super charismatic, speak multiple languages, super healthy, blah, 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 blah. He's gonna be everything. He's gonna be a dreamboat. He's gonna be so dreamy. I want to marry the Antichrist. Actually, you know what's gonna be crazy? Oh, Carol says she's aware, so she's known about it. This particular human that will not be born from a mother, by the way, he's gonna be born of an artificial pod. In fact, I wonder if they'll put on the bottom of their foot and say "Made in China" or something like that. It's probably a stupid joke there, but so yeah, so that's gonna be the beginning, and then hold on, let's see. Somebody made a comment, and no, I don't know. They grow human bodies. Oh yeah, yeah, they are. They've been perfecting it. They're really close. They might have already perfected it. And Wes Gordon says, question, do you use iodine in MSM? I personally don't. I think iodine's great, but I like to get it from my food. In fact, the modern day Nephilim. There you go. Somebody's bringing that up. Let's see here. So, let's see here. Oh no, let's see. How about foods rich in iodine? Because see, I like to get everything from my food. Ooh, a lot of seafood. Ooh, kelp and nori, so seaweed. I eat that all the time. That's a good one. I forgot about that. Kombu, another type of Japanese seaweed. Eggs have iodine. I eat those once in a while. Yogurt, interesting. There was a new study that I just recently read too, by the way. They studied all these different dairy products and how they affect the body, from cheeses to milks to yogurt. And when they're alive, I was telling you guys this a second ago, when they're alive, you know, good bacteria or enzymes, it's doing really good in the body as compared to like pasteurized milk. It ends up being not good for the body. So weird that Jesus said it over 2,000 years ago. Eat live foods. Well, he didn't say that in the Bible, though. It's in these other writings. Obviously, ionized salt. Certain plants too, potatoes, beans. I eat those all the time. Liver. Ugh. I don't want to eat liver. So there you go. I would eat foods with iodine in them, especially seaweed. Maybe that's why the Japanese are, yeah. Okay, next question. Pamela, what about low iron? They are trying to figure out why my husband's iron is low. He eats very well too. Well, when you say he eats well, that's a difficult thing to pin down. But let's see here. Let me check. When it comes to iron, I mean, look, part of it is going to be nutrient absorption. That's one of the things you have to really, really consider. Okay. And so that's when we get into like cleaning the body of parasites, a lot of fiber so that you absorb nutrients properly, lots of hydrogen so you absorb nutrients properly. Do we have? No. Okay, it's not in there. I would try to eat foods rich in iron, but you need to get your absorption right. I mean, this would require full protocol, meaning I would have to talk to your habits and what you're doing and what you're not doing. But to be honest, I don't think fixing an iron deficiency is very hard. I mean, if I can fix all my deficiencies, in fact, you guys should have seen my numbers before I did all this stuff. It was not good. Technically, well, you know, nobody's gonna hear this either because this is a long thing. I mean, you guys probably know I'm not even supposed to be alive right now. And I have done a lot of things to my body that were very detrimental. And the only thing I can tell you is, I mean, I'm here right now, but I'm pretty sure I've shortened my life significantly. Again, I'm not even, at this point, I'm already supposed to be dead. So I don't worry about it a lot as long as I'm feeling good. But, you know, I probably just, my honest opinion is I'm probably expecting to not have a normal life as far as how long I'll live. Even though I'm eating healthy, I had to do things so drastically um, to get to where I'm at, which is great. But yeah. So hey, enjoy your time, guys. Right? We all need to just be grateful. Yeah, and Martin was saying all sea vegetables and shellfish and oysters. Yes, but they have so many contaminants that's kind of my concern, because you're eating this stuff for certain things. And do I eat seafood? Seldom. I was trying to see, because they take these minerals from the sea and they clean them. So I was trying to see if that could be helpful too. In fact, you know, it's funny. I was just talking to a guy yesterday. There's so many I need to figure out how to do podcasts. This guy was really great. He was also following my protocol, and the benefits he was having were just off the charts. At some point, I don't understand why my channel hasn't gotten more well known, and I'm not trying to complain. It's just crazy because the results are like mind-boggling, even mine. Doctors, blood work, cardiologists, cancer doctor, like the amount of physicians when they see it though. So when they see it with one of their patients or with me, they're always so blown away, to the point where some are like, this is impossible. Like, you're doing the impossible. You'd think that I have millions of viewers and subscribers by now, but it ain't happening. It's really weird. And I've been doing it for a long time. Anyway, back to people's questions. Let's see here. Sunshine Valentina says, anything to suppress appetite? Oh, so suppress appetite. A lot of times when you're hungry, it's parasites in your body, obviously certain bad habits. A lot of it is you're eating empty calories and your body's actually deficient. So your body's asking for more because it's looking for nutrients and you're not giving it to it. So I had the same problem. Once I started doing all these things, which took time, all of a sudden I can go without eating and not freak out. And yeah, I don't have I don't have like, ooh, take, I'm not going to say the name of the medicine, starts with an OZ. You know, I don't know why I'm just not going to name stuff. And they're like, oh, it'll suppress appetite. It's like, well, I'd rather not inject some potentially dangerous thing. I'm concerned about the pancreas specifically for suppressing appetite. What I would try to do is eat more nutritious and anti-parasitic stuff and try to get as many nutrients in you. And if you really get cravings, sometimes a tiny bit of raw honey because of the sugar in it. But raw honey is really good for you too. Don't take too much, obviously. I don't know if that answers your question. Maybe even drinking, you know what really helps too is juices. Preferably if you make them yourself, but you can buy 100% carrot juice or whatever those, you know, I don't know if that answers your question, but you can give that a try. Next one, Matt Moon says, that's how Nemo from the Matrix was reborn. Nemo? Finding Nemo in the Matrix. I think you're talking about Neo. Nemo. You guys remember the fish? That was funny. That was where Ellen DeGeneres was funny in that one. Got to give her that one, because lately I don't know what's going on with that lady. I'm not like judging her. I'm kind of concerned, but honestly, a lot of people are. I think that something's happening, because I think certain people, I'm seeing certain people losing their minds. Actually, a lot of people are losing their minds. I probably shouldn't bring that up. Okay, moving on. That's how, oh yeah, that's right. Okay, I see what the Matt Moon is saying. Neo was born in the pod in the Matrix, but I don't think he was born in it though, Matt. Remember, they took a baby and they put him in the pod and then they filled it. So he wasn't born in it, because if had he been born in it, don't you remember that scene where they took the baby and they put him in? He would have already started in it. So it's very different. But I think we're headed there. We're headed to the Matrix. And you're absolutely correct, though, in a lot of other ways. Pretty bonkers, guys. Chief Center says, we can heal beyond knowing. Well, that is true. I'm trying to do just basic stuff right now. Yeah. Pamela Fernandez. Can you imagine if her name was Anderson? Mr. Anderson. Pamela Anderson says, she goes, okay, we'll get in touch with you. I have those minerals. All right, hoorah. Okay. Oh, for the guy who is the person who is deficient in iron, look at my video on Shilajit. Go to a website called Pure Black, P-U-R, black, all one word, .com, pureblack.com. Grab one of their Shilajit little things. I have a discount code if you want it. Sadly, I don't get anything from it, but I am trying to get product in exchange because I already buy it and use it for iron and other good minerals, and mix it with hydrogen water. I could make more videos about it. I already have one, but I probably should make another one. Awesome. I think it would help a lot. Okay, moving on. Next one. Sean says, maybe YouTube algorithms don't favor your type of discussion. Yeah, it's a lot of things. I mean, most people, yeah, I don't know. You're probably right. Medical miracles. I'll tell you, everybody, yeah, I don't know anything about computers, so I'm probably screwing up my algorithm. What do you do, right? What do you do? And then when people finally find me, they're like, oh my God, you got too many videos. It's like, because I've been doing them for a long time. Matt Moon says, some people call it the mark of the devil. What's that? What's the mark of the devil? Actually, that's a whole other thing. I got to explain that one too. And I can tell you exactly what's coming. Ooh, that's a pretty bold statement, huh? I don't like to, I don't like to make bold statements unless I'm pretty certain of it. But I could go into it, I guess. I got to let you guys go soon, okay? Okay, any idea how much time we have until the beast system is in place and will we be here or taken up? Oh, you're going to be here. And it's probably coming, it's going to be between 2029 to 2032. At the very latest, 2036. We'll never make it to 2040 until this thing goes down. This thing's going to go down, just so you know, it's going to look really good. So I want you guys to quote unquote understand that. It's not going to look evil. In fact, it's going to look the opposite. It's going to look so good. And the world's going to rejoice, and it's going to be so amazing. And then you're going to give you your little thing. And all your medical conditions will go away. You're going to put money on this little thing, and it's going to be highly technological, and it's going to bring us world peace, and it's going to go on for about, I don't know, 3.5, 4 years. And then the crap's going to hit the fan. And I could tell you exactly why if you guys want to know why, but I'll leave it at that for right now. Let's see here. I don't know about this whole taken up thing. I know people talk about it. That I don't know. I haven't received a lot of messages about that one, actually. Okay, Chief Center says, nothing new under the sun. Okay, then. What about hydrogen? That's pretty new. No, it's been around forever. It was actually the very first thing created. Boom, let there be light. What do you think the stars are made of? Hydrogen. Okay, let's keep moving forward here. Nothing new under the sun. Sunshine Valentina. That's a good name. Sunshine Valentina. Valentina reminds me of that Valentina spicy sauce. Says, I'm having a hard time finding your website. It's because I don't have a website. That's pretty funny. I would have guessed that you are having a hard time. It doesn't even exist. Though, if you want to find my YouTube channel, so here's where I'm at, guys. And there's almost nobody in here, but Instagram, Rumble, YouTube, Twitter. Go to subscribe to all of them, because if I get dropped off on one, you can only find me through the others. But most of my information or my good info is on YouTube. That's kind of where I put everything at. Okay. And if you want to find my YouTube channel, you just type in Uprising144K. Bonus brownie points if anybody can figure out what that name means, but I doubt you will. Okay. Pamela, not Anderson, Fernandez, the Mexican Anderson. Fernandez says, I have been on that website, but am confused about which one to buy. Oh, okay, fine. I think I understand what you're talking about. Okay, let's go to the website. Oh, right now I'm typing in www.purblack.com. Pure Black. Boom, pops right up. Okay, now let's just go to shop. Top left says shop all products or live resins. Ooh, live resins. Let's go look at that, because I'm pretty sure is it what I think it is? It's exactly what I think it is. It's the Shilajit. They have True Gold, Immunity Max. You know, the truth is, they're all pretty much the same, guys. I would just buy the cheaper one. I think the cheapest one is, why don't they have the prices on here? Really? They tell you the benefits of all of them. But again, they're all pretty much the same. My understanding is they did that because, I won't go into why they did it. Let's just keep it simple for everybody. You know, it's really weird. I'm on the site, but it's now stuck. Oh, there it is. There's a little thing to close it off here. Okay, so visit the store. Shop, shop, shop. Let's just go with White Rabbit. You know what's so weird about this? How come there's no prices? In the world, why would you? You don't even know how much it costs? That is a very strange. Like, how am I supposed to choose what I want to buy? Do I actually have to click onto the, let me see here. Okay, hold on. Let's go with Jiminy Christmas. Explore, add to the cart. Okay, I'll add to the cart. And now it shows the price. You know, I don't like that. Just show it to me already so I can, now I got to add everything to the cart in order to find out how much it costs. Why do they overcomplicate this crap? Unbelievable. That's such a turnoff too, which is too bad because I like their products, okay? There's a lot of things that companies do that I don't like, but if I like a product, I like a product. Okay, so let's just go with all products. Sorry guys, I'm trying to, so just so you guys understand what I'm looking at here. All these Pure Black website. Just buy the cheapest one and get the one that's in a circle like this. Jeez. See how it's a circle? These things? And they have a resin inside of them. And like I said, I'd get the coffee one, I think was the cheapest one because they're all pretty much the same. They just add a little something. It's called Shilajit. I feel like I gotta give them some feedback because this is ridiculous. You can't choose anything if there's no price on anything. Anyway, I'm being a little whiner, I guess. Hopefully that answers your question. Jiminy Christmas. Jiminy Christmas. Anybody grew up in that time? Yeah, okay. Yeah, just buy any of the Shilajit ones. They're all the same. Buy the cheapest one. I think the coffee one is the cheapest one. Unless you don't like caffeine, and they probably have, I don't know if they have caffeine. You can message the company and ask them. Because when I bought them, they didn't have all that stuff. Okay, Sean Lynn says, thank you for your time and efforts. We appreciate you. You're very welcome. Thank you for the kind comment. Sunshine and all, Sunshine says, Uprising 144. Bonus brownie points. 12 strands DNA times 12 equals 144,000 DNA eternal life in Jesus Christ. No, but it's a very good guess. And you're probably accurate in a lot of that stuff you just said. Matt Moon says, I said reborn. Oh, Matt, did I miss something? Let's see, reborn. Some people, oh, I don't know. Okay, Martine Knockhart says, I got the price right away. The price is right away. Oh, see? So what's going on with my computer? What did you click on? I just clicked on shop and I put all products. Yeah, the other day it showed me the prices. I don't know why it's not showing them today. It's the right website. Pure Black, visit the store. Oh, the prices are there now. Now I look like an idiot. Okay, White Rabbit, $75. You go with the White Rabbit. That's a good one. I mean, again, the Shilajit is a Shilajit. It's a Shilajit. That's funny. Yeah, they all look about 75 bucks. Oh, wait, Deja Brew is 55. See, I just go with that because I know they're all the same stuff. They had a little something, something, but to be honest, I don't think it's necessary, but that's up to you guys. All I know is you need the Shilajit. That's what I'm using. So a good one. Okay, I guess I do give the prices. I look like a dummy. Hey, dummy. Okay, Reliable Andrew says, Greg, how did you get that scar on you? Oh boy, somebody noticed. Yeah, I can answer that in a second. So White Rabbit and the cheapest one. Yeah, as long as it's Shilajit. Can you tell us what Uprising 144 means? And me too. Good. All right. So, okay, the scar on my chin, I was a little boy. I was riding. I'm kind of a big car guy, motorcycles. For those of you who don't know, I was going to be a race car driver. That's what I was all about since I was basically born. In fact, my mother was just telling me a funny story the other day how my siblings used to use like little toy cars and they would drive them around her tummy when I was in there. I don't know if that was the reason, because apparently before I was even walking, I love cars. I know a lot about cars. Back in the day, I used to love speed a lot. Things have changed a lot. That my medical issues made me, I never thought I'd be a health guy. Health guru. Never thought I'd go down this path at all. And anyway, so I was riding one of these like Hot Wheel motorcycle things when I was little in, I'll just say the third world country. I didn't grow up here. So anyway, so I'm doing that. And there was a girl. And there was in this place, there's these really big metal doors. And you would open them like garage doors, but they don't look like garage doors in America. They have a really sharp edge because of the way that they come together and close. And I just went and leaned up against this gate. I parked my hot rod, my Hot Wheel. I don't know if you guys remember these Hot Wheels. Did you guys ever? I don't even know if I can find a picture of one of these. The 3-wheeler Hot Wheel. Yeah, you probably know. They're all made of plastic. Anyway, so I was just leaning against the thing, talking to this girl. I mean, I wasn't trying to I was a little kid. I was just being friendly with one of the local girls. And it had been raining the day before, so the floor was kind of wet. And I just kind of slipped somehow, and that thing just, boom. I think it even took a piece of my bone because you can feel that it's missing there. And yeah, when it got me, it was pretty bad, bleeding everywhere. And then when I was taken to, on the way to the hospital, I was bleeding so much. And then by the time I arrived, apparently there was a guy like without his finger, I guess, and then a guy without his hand. So I waited like 2.5 hours like this before they finally got it. And they did a terrible job, and the scar was, pretty bad or whatever. I actually never really think about it. It's kind of a reminder of where I grew up. Interestingly enough. Okay. So I don't know if that answers your question. Good question, I guess. Kind of boring, right? Okay. Martine Knockhart says, Greg, I was in Europe for 1 year and could not follow you, but are you back in the US? That's weird. I am in the US, but I don't know why you wouldn't be able to follow me in the UK. Does anybody find this suspicious? I think it's odd. I don't know, guys. Has anybody not smelled a pop, however? I love new smells, if they're good. Sean Lynch says, I'm in Ireland and I follow you. Yeah, it's kind of weird. You think they're blocking me in the UK? Things are getting ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Okay, guys, I think that's it. I'll probably let you go. Thanks for hanging out, unless you guys want to, unless you have more questions, but otherwise I'll let you go. Oh yeah, somebody asked about the name Uprising. Problems with Facebook and security. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, hold on, let me rinse this cup. Let me know if you guys can hear me when I walk away. I'm trying to wear this microphone for good sound. Yeah, as far as the Uprising name, well, one, it's funny. When people typically use that word, I don't know if you guys have noticed, there was an uprising. They kind of make it sound like it's a bad thing, which, who knows, maybe it is. But when they say things like, there's an uprising against the government, there's an uprising against, whatever. That's usually when you hear the word uprising. Now for me, I chose, it has multiple meanings. For myself, I think it has to do with rising up from amongst the dead. What do I mean by that? Well, when you're really sick, and we are all aging and dying, and when you're sick, as I was, I was bedridden, guys, for the most part. I mean, I would literally go 6 months in bed, Couldn't even stand. And believe it or not, that wasn't the hardest part. The hardest part, I mean, not being able to walk is pretty brutal. But not being in excruciating pain was more brutal. And if I was to be honest with you guys, which I will be, just so you know, being honest sometimes it can make me very vulnerable, and I'm a very private person, so I don't like to give out too much of my personal info, but being bedridden is so hard. You're just sitting there, but when you're in pain, and I know firsthand, it like scrambles your head. It literally ruins your mind. Look at this pear, size of a pow. And just pulling all the different produce I have around here. Look at this, I just got this on a tree too. Figs. So uprising, oh good, so if you guys can hear me over here, cool. So basically rising up from amongst the dead. It also, so that's you know, quote unquote uprising, rising up again, because you know how, just look at that. What about, I think it was Joaquin. He's talking about his wife. You know, she's in bed, has to take, you know, naps in the middle of the day, and you know what? It's only going to get worse, right? In time, she would start, you know, maybe 1 hour, then 2 hours, then 3 hours, and then I can't even get up in the morning, or like that other lady who I worked with, who could only have 2 hours, maybe 3. But she was like, I have to hurry up and do all these things because she just runs out of gas, and she just boom, hits a wall. And I've experienced that in the past before too, actually. And it's brutal. It ruins, like you can't get things done that you want to get done. And so anyway, so yeah, rising up again, uprising both in your health, in your life. Personally, I think that health and life have a lot to do with spirituality. Life is spiritual. Life is sacred, in my opinion. And yeah, you got to rise up again. You know, for me, obviously rising up was rising up out of my bed and being able to, you know, just walk. I'll tell you one thing I've learned. I think gratitude is a very important thing. And I have never valued my legs as much as I value them now, or the ability to walk, basically. So yeah, it's and then the 144K, you know, the 144,000, which is the 12 tribes of 12,000, but they're what they call the children of light. And personally, I don't know if you guys have ever read this. The children of light were the Essenes. They're the ones in that book that has blown my mind. And the Essenes were the children of light, and they were, you know, they were the leaders of the new world. And I was kind of hoping or thinking about the leadership into a new like way of doing things in health in general. And I was extremely shocked. I just got something in my eye. Extremely shocked how well these protocols worked. I've had a lot of people get mad at me. Again, I won't name names. I was just yelled at multiple times by different people just within the last 3 or 4 days. And I'm just like, it's all good, you know, because people get, it had to do with being married to certain ideas. And it was only because I made a suggestion and somebody got multiple people got very upset. And I always think that we should be open to new things, open to new ideas, to help fine tune, because unless you have perfection, like the Japanese, that's what I love about the Japanese. I don't think a Japanese person would have ever yelled at me the way that I was yelled at, because they're open to new things like, let me see what you're saying. Let me think about it. Let me weigh all this out. Maybe even let me try it and see, you know, different stuff like that. It's one of the reasons that the Japanese are very impressive to me. So, okay, if that really answered the question. Okay, let's see. Pamela Fernandez says, I was in Ireland in August and I loved it. Yeah, one of my friends said he wanted to move there. Martine says, never had problems before, but don't you live in Japan anymore? Boy, I tell you, if I got $1 for every time somebody asks me that question. It's not that I don't live, okay. I guess I'll just put it to rest here, and I probably won't put it to rest. Japan has very strict guidelines for entering legally and staying there legally. If you break the rules, so the Japanese are like, you don't break the rules in Japan, guys. They are so strict. You miss it by one day, you ain't getting back in that country. And so it's very difficult for me to just stay there all the time. So I had to leave, and there's a lot of things in my life that I have to try to organize to be able to not just go back there, but to go back there and stay there for good. So for right now, I don't have the ability to stay there for good. Am I going to go? Excuse me. Am I going to go back? Yes, of course. Am I trying to find a way there to go back there most likely permanently? Yeah, but I don't know if that'll ever happen. And so, yeah. So I don't know if that answers your question, but no, I'm not there right now. I'm back in America right now. The land of the free, as long as you pay for it. I find that kind of funny. Okay. Sunshine says, we can hear you. Woohoo. Sunshine says, I just discovered you last month and I'm very happy and blessed I have found you. Wow, thank you. Praying God's protection over you every day of your life. Well, that's very kind. I wish that for all of you guys. Happiness and health, guys. Pamela says, the comments on your recent interview were ignorant and rude. I've seen that. Some people just have nothing else to do. So sad. Yes, I agree with you, Pamela. Some of the yelled at, this actually happened. It wasn't on a podcast, but you know what? I hope sometimes people just lose their patience or something. I hope that people sleep on it, meditate on it, maybe be like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have done that. And this is where people can say they're sorry, apologize, and then you can forgive, and then everything's all good. So, you know, I'm really big on forgiveness. And I really like when people try to do the right thing, which is the reason that I've discovered that the Japanese tend to be that way. And they're not perfect people, but they're pretty incredible. They clearly build better stuff than China, and like hydrogen, for example. You know, the best machine is Japanese. The second best machine, I found another one, is also Japanese. The third best machine is also Japanese, and the fourth machine is also Japanese. They're all Japanese. I haven't seen anything good come out of China. I'm not a fan of a bunch of stuff, as you probably know, in the whole hydrogen realm. Okay, we can only hope forgiveness releases you. Yes. So I don't know, I'm just looking at all these colors of my produce here. It's so cool, isn't it? I think it's cool. These pears, though, they're so tiny. In fact, where's that other one? There's another one I got here somewhere. Anyway, you guys don't need to see all my produce. You can see this pear too. These are a different type of pear. I'm gonna get a lot of these soon. Yeah, the size is hard to tell, huh? All right, well, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna sign off here any minute, but I appreciate you guys hanging out today. I know it's a long video, though, hey, not really counting the minutes. It's not, you know, I know some people, I've done podcasts and different stuff where like, okay, it can only go for 30 minutes or it can only go for 45 because everybody leaves. And it's like, it's cool. We're just hanging out here. Let's see here. Sunshine says, I healed the breast tumor on pH 9.6 water. Oh, all right. Well, Sunshine, I'm sure you did more than just drink that water, because the research, and there is research on this. See, I have to go off of data, and I've heard stories like what you just said before, and I'm going to guess that you didn't just drink that water and it went away, right? That's my guess, because alkaline water that is made, because you can put minerals and make water alkaline. You can put baking soda in water and make it alkaline. Ionized water, like the whole Kangen thing, I am not a fan, because there's research. I can't believe that people are still promoting this. Ionized water that makes it alkaline disrupts in the long term, meaning after about 6 to 8 months, it starts causing problems. They got it all wrong. So the Japanese already admitted this. It's just that America is so far behind. I tell you, they're like 10 to 20 years behind Japan. So what they discovered was there were health benefits from like those Kangen style machines. They thought it was because of the pH. That's why they created this whole campaign and, oh my gosh, alkaline water, it's going to fix everything. No, that's not what happens at all. Because if alkaline water were to fix everything, you put baking soda in water and drink it and voila, all your problems are solved, but it won't work. What they discovered after many years of research is that those machines were by accident making some hydrogen that would only last for 1 to 3 months. After that, the machines quit making the hydrogen. You have to go get them maintained. And they don't make the hydrogen properly. So what they discovered was long-term usage was actually causing problems. In fact, you can research this. There's already data out there about this. That's why I'm just shocked when I see doctors promoting this nonsense, because they're not going off the data. It's a money thing. You know, they sell these machines for, what is it, $6,000 nowadays, and it costs them about, they don't cost them that much. The machines they're cheap. I mean, you can go find them for like $400 or $500. The problem is that if you look at research as far as stomach acids, so your stomach acids have a certain function. It's so important to have proper levels. As you age, you're making less and less stomach acids. When you use that type of water, you actually make it worse, and you're accelerating actually a problem. Your acids are designed to break down food so that you absorb nutrients properly and to kill pathogens. You do not want them at low levels. This also goes for people who have certain deficiencies, including the one about iron that somebody was talking about. You really need to know what you're doing here. Now, water also comes from your tap through the filters that they provide, and I've seen lab tests on these filters. It's one of the reasons I don't use filters like that. What do I use? Carbon distiller, right there. Takes 3 to 6 hours. It's been running the whole time here, guys. 3 to 6 hours to make roughly 1 gallon of water. That's how you clean your water, okay? And then you can just put in your hydrogen generator, and it's actually cheaper. And the hydrogen generator, the one that I use, you can inhale the hydrogen gas. The Kangen is, with all honesty, if you were to be honest with us, I have a very, very, very hard time believing that all you did was drink the pH whatever water and that your cancer went away. I just have there's no data supports that. If it happened, that's amazing. But, you know, did you do chemo? Did you do Leotril? Did you do a certain diet? Did you do something else? Or is that all you did? Because that would be extremely impressive. But again, the data doesn't really support that. So I'd be very curious. You're actually welcome to message me too. I could even call you personally and find out everything that you did. Because I just worked with a patient. Actually, I just worked with somebody for almost 2 years now, and she had breast cancer, and she's been doing my protocol, and her breast cancer is gone. In fact, I was supposed to do a podcast with her, but I'm still trying to figure that out. But it wasn't easy. It's not just as easy as drinking, you know. So I'm a little interesting. Oh, somebody just gave me some. Wow, thank you. That's very kind of you. Let's see. Let's see where we're at here, and then I'll. Okay, Daniel says, Greg, have to say, apricot seeds you recommended are something else. Yeah, they have. Now there's some science to actually support that. Martin says, I am sorry you could not stay like you wanted to. It is not that easy to just move to a country. No, you're right. It's not easy. That's why it takes a lot of planning. And if you were rich, it'd be a lot easier. I probably have more money. You know, there's a lot of companies. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this. Nobody's gonna stick around this long. There's a lot of companies that offer me a lot of money to promote certain products. I never did it because I knew the products weren't good. I wasn't gonna promote something that wasn't good. And so I've turned a lot of them away, and I've turned down a lot of money. Maybe that was a dumb thing, but I wasn't gonna do that to you guys. Let's see here, where are we at here? Daniel says, what's the most you have done? Recommended 3 per hour, 10 a day. Is there a problem with working up slowly over time? Well, that's weird, Daniel. I don't know if you're asking me, but I'm a little confused about the question. What is the most that you have done? 3 per hour? I have no idea the question. I'm sorry, Dan. We'll skip that for now. Pamela says, thank you for your time and opinions. Sunshine says, I was going to ask you about that. I did many things. Yes, that is true. Glad I asked you. Yeah, because the data is not good. The Japanese, There's a reason that the Hydrofix true hydrogen machine. So by the way, hydrogen is pH neutral. The ionizers like a Kangen or whatever, they're doing it wrong. That's the fundamental problem. They just by accident made hydrogen. So there's a right way to do it. See, the Japanese are not afraid to change the way that they do things and learning new things and improving. And that's why they're always ahead of us. Sometimes people get stuck in their ideas. Okay, Martin says, there are new studies on alkali water and it's not good. There you go. And that's true. Go read them. I'm telling you. Go look at the data. But saying alkaline water is a vague term. This is important because if you have some minerals that make your water a little alkaline, that's fine. If you do it through ionization, it's different. So, okay. Sunshine says, I did that in 2015, 10 years ago, and I think you are correct on that. Correct on what? And then Pamela says, I love mine. Love your what? And then I used herbs, Dr. Robert Morse fruit diet. Fruit diet? I'm almost confused about these diets. What is it with these diets where they want you to just eat one thing? Eat nothing but only meat. Eat nothing but only fruit. Eat nothing but only celery. Eat nothing but only vegetables. I mean, I think those things are fine for like here and there, but you really need a well-rounded thing in my opinion. I don't know. I always find that weird, but that's just me. I don't see that button to donate. Oh yeah, by the way, yeah, somebody donated. Thank you. I think that was, oh, it was Sunshine Valentina. I mean, that was very kind. I appreciate it, guys. Anything you guys donate, just so you know, is either going to go towards finding you more and more information, how to improve, and also for me moving to Japan permanently. That's going to be a tough one. I got to figure that out. Context is apricot seeds. Oh, okay. Yeah, the amount of, yeah, you mean, if you're asking me the amount of apricot seeds, I would check RNC for that. And I don't know if I have a discount code with them, but if you want to try it, you can try Uprising 144K, see if it works. Pamela says, there is a $ at the right to the chat. Oh, that's so, I mean, that's cool. The Ascending Ancient says, you should interview Christina Gilberti. Okay, I don't know who she is. Let's see. They had it tested, and I'm pretty sure the hydrogen content is very large in quantity. Oh, no. If you're talking about the water ionizers, I already know they're not. And I'll tell you why. Because when you're directly, so I know, just so you guys know, I'm actually a hydrogen production expert. I've studied every modality of producing hydrogen. It's been one of the biggest things that I've studied. When you're directly electrolyzing water and the water's coming out of a tap like a Kangen machine, it's doing it right away, which means it doesn't even have time to dissolve much hydrogen into it. Look at the Hydrofix, for example, the machine that I use. 1.5 liters takes half an hour, guys. You really think that a machine's gonna just dissolve it instantly like a Kangen? No, it's not gonna work. So if that's what you're talking about. As far as distillation, that takes time too. You know, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to just give you guys accurate info. I'm not trying to be biased. I'm a data guy. It's all about the data, and a lot of people are getting bad data out there. And by the way, another one, everybody in America is testing the hydrogen incorrectly. They're not testing it right. The equipment that is required to test hydrogen in water is expensive, tedious, actually made in Japan, and you can't even use it in America because the stuff needs so much calibration and so much maintenance that you'd have to send it in every week. It's ridiculous. It's too difficult. Okay, I gotta go soon. Let's see, they had it tested. That's hilarious. Just so you know, no machines in the world of hydrogen. There's only one company, which is bonkers to me that there's only one. You'd think that there'd be like, there's hundreds of devices out there. Only one company, which happens to be the #1 hydrogen company in the world, which is a Japanese one. Every single machine they make gets tested, certified. You get a certificate from the laboratory, how they tested it, the levels, the dates, serial number. It gives you everything. Nobody in the world does that. It's just too expensive. But the Hydrofix company, they care so much. This is why I like them so much. They care so much about doing it right that's why they test every single machine. And they even admitted that every machine's going to be a little different. And if they don't test properly, they won't even sell them. And all the other machines out there that you see, guys, the Japanese said it's impossible for all of them to produce the right amount of hydrogen. That's why they have to be tested. There's always going to be little tiny defects. So that's why I don't trust any other machines out there. All right, moving on. Harry says, do you have an idea why hydrogen helps the body? Like, what's the process? Oh boy, you really want to go down that road. That's a very long road, and the simple fact is that nobody knows. Yeah, they know that it functions as an anti-inflammatory, a selective antioxidant with certain cell signaling. You know, they know it's good for your gut. They know it's good for the heart. And they know it's good for strokes. All these different types of things. But the actual mechanism, nobody knows the full mechanism. There's nobody on the planet because even the Japanese haven't been able to figure it out. It's complex. And everybody has their theories. I even have some of mine. But the simple fact is that they can see that it works. So if you take somebody with, let's say, arthritis, and you can see the numbers are getting better, clearly the patient's having less pain, you can see the inflammation coming down. So you can see that it works, but they don't know exactly how it works. They have some theories, and some of it they do know, but not all of it. And that would be a whole podcast. That would be a long conversation. Pamela says distiller. Thank you. Distiller. Okay, so all right, guys. Well, let's call it a day. I think this was a long conversation. Thanks for hanging out. I'll give you guys maybe 10 seconds if anybody had any last important question, or maybe not. And I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you guys got something out of this. I don't make a lot of these anymore, so I tried to do this for you guys today. So again, I hope you guys found it helpful, and I'll see you guys next time on the next one. I'm not sure yet, but I might delete this video. We'll see. There's a few things that I said I was like, oh, I like my life to be private, but I shared a little too much with you guys. But you guys were all here, so it's a small number, and it's hard for me not to answer your questions if you ask them. So, okay. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for all the thumbs up. And Ascending Ancient has one last question. I'm talking about primary water. A man in Florida drilled over 1,000 feet, found that purest water in Earth is generated inside the Earth. Research primary water and Christina Gilberti. Somebody says you can delete. Well, I look at lab reports, and so I see what's in the water and how to clean it. By the way that I'm doing it is the way planet Earth does it. The sun hits the ocean, steam rises, comes down as rain or water, or I'm sorry, rain or snow, which is distilled water. And the lab reports back that up. So, I mean, unless you want to go and try to drill 1,000 feet and get that water lab tested and do all that work if you want, but I'm trying to show something simple that most people have access to. And is there clean water deep within there? There might be. Somebody says, let me watch, I came early. You came early or late? Oh, okay, I'll wait. I'll probably delete it later. Okay, guys. Any last questions? I've seen people had a few last comments before I was about to go, but I think I'm good. Harry's LOL, he'll give you some time. I mean, I'll leave it up if you guys want. I didn't think it was that important of a video, but you know. All right, guys. I'm going to say goodbye now. If I can figure out how to hang this up, this will be funny. I always have a hard time figuring it out. Like I said, I'm terrible with computers. All right.